Hey y'all, I'm just outside of the garden. I am about to do my morning milking, and then we are going to take a quick peek in the garden and see what's going on. I actually tried to shoot this video yesterday and it was almost an hour long. So I came back to the drawing board and I'm just gonna show you guys a few highlights and update you on how our events have been going. So let's do the milking first. Alrighty, you guys, I filled my jar this morning, milked out a full quart. Maggie actually probably still has lots of milk left, but we aren't in need of milk. I've been milking the last couple of days and steadily just getting more and more milk each milking. So there is a strainer on this lid, if you can see that, and then a filter underneath. So this milk is already filtered. All I need to do is I'm gonna take this top off. Watch out, Sully. Okay. I'm gonna take this filter out, or the strainer. That'll get washed. Take this filter off. I came with a top. And now this is ready to go in the freezer to be chilled for about 30 to 45 minutes, and then we'll pop it into the fridge. The lambs are doing well. They're waiting on Mama to finish up breakfast. This is Rosie over there. You waiting on Mama? All right, the milk is in the freezer. I'm going to go take Maggie off of her harness and get her back with her lambs, and then we'll head to the garden. That truck, we're getting the ceiling insulation sprayed today. All right, so now the lambs get what they need. They're getting big. I'm in the garden, so let's check out the highlights for now. All right, first, this in-ground bed. I think I showed you guys or told you that I was going to be planting zinnias over here, and I do have a first succession of zinnias in, so that's what I've got in these two rows right here, a little bit on the end down there, and I've actually already come in and sowed a second succession of zinnias in this in-ground bed. We've got a couple of blank rows in the middle for a third succession, and then down here on the end, I've come in and I've direct seeded some amaranth, some lemon basil, and then I transplanted some basil down here on this last row. I didn't really hold the water to these like I should have, so some of them sort of bit the dust. So like that's done. This is trying to make a comeback. We'll see what happens. But I'm gonna be using this as a filler in bouquets. I've also got just a few dahlias I started from seed, and that's it in this middle bed for now. But the zinnias are looking really good, and we're excited to see those starting to take off. The first succession of sunflowers is starting to put on close to getting little heads on them. So we'll be cutting from this succession first. These are, let's see, just over knee high, almost hip height, this first succession. And then we'll just continue cutting down this row. We've got white light coming in first, and then some white night. So super excited to be cutting sunflowers soon. And then over here, got some cosmos that I didn't pinch back, just to see how soon they would start to come on. This is the first succession, this little patch of green that you see right here. And I started cutting from this just a couple of days ago, but I'm wowed by cosmos. So I think this is Cupcake Blush, which I'm sure would be even more stunning in the sunlight, but we're a little overcast today. And then I've got a few Apricota. So these are ready to be cut. So I'll come back through this section and cut all of these that are open, but as you can see, we've got some others starting to bud right there. And after this first little wave, we've got another succession already in the ground. So as that first patch finishes up, I'll come in and I'll cut from this second patch that I started. You guys know we love growing food as much as we love growing flowers, and we have some blueberries that are starting to ripen. We've got several different varieties of blueberry, so some ripen sooner or later than others, but there's a couple on here, oops, that are ready. There's some more, but I'll leave those for the boys. All right, I believe the first time you guys saw our dahlia patch was just as our tubers were beginning to send up shoots. And as you can see, they put on a lot of growth. One thing I'm gonna do today is come through and give everything a nice feed. We haven't been having consistent rain here lately, maybe once a week. So I've been coming through with the hose and making sure everything gets a good watering at least twice a week. So there's the dahlias. And then down here, more Bupleurum. We've got some other fillers and more successions of our sunflowers. And so I think these successions start getting into like the gold light, the white night, and there's just a little bit of Gomphrena down here on the end. All right, in the world of food, our blackberries are starting to set fruit, blooming pretty heavily. We've got blackberries all throughout the garden, so I'm sure we'll be picking here in a few weeks. This bed right here has a new planting of celosia in it. This will be used as a filler and a spike in some of our bouquets. I'm glad it sort of rebounded because it wasn't looking great when I put it in at first, but now these are starting to perk up a bit, and I'll come through and I'll pinch the top so we can get a little bit of branching going. And we will be using some of this as it continues to grow and warm up during the summer months. I think I've got Sunday Mix and Flamingo Feather in this bed. And those tall greens you see in the back, that's some gladiolus from last year. All right, over here on the other side, got some okra starting to come up. Okra that I said I wasn't going to plant, but I can't help myself. So I'll probably fry some of this occasionally, use a lot of it for pickling. Sully seems to like the pickled okra and I like it, so that'll be something for us to snack on during the summer. And then we've got our first planting of tomatoes, and these are in ground. I'm just gonna let them do what tomatoes do and pull from them. I'm not gonna worry about trellising or staking. I don't really need 40 pounds of tomatoes. So I've got lots of plants in, and I will just harvest what I can. So you can see we're starting to set some flowers, and I intentionally put these tomatoes on this side of the garden so that they could get some shade early in the afternoon. We've got some German green, some Amish paste. I think we have some Amana tomatoes, and then right behind them we've got some bell peppers. Let's see if I can get the variety. We've got shishito, chocolate bell pepper, jalapeno, and that's it for this little section. The gladiolus that Archer and I planted together are starting to come up. I think these were planted just over a week ago, and we're gonna come through and find another spot in the garden and do another succession of gladiolus. Here is the first little patch starting to come up right in here, those little spikes you see in the ground. So I'm glad to see those emerging. We also have some in our raised beds from last year, and we'll add probably close to 100 more. See where that gets us. More tomatoes. See, these are some black creme tomatoes. They're starting to flower also. And then the remainder of this bed is Coreopsis, which seems to be doing really well in the ground here. So I'm super excited about that. All right, here is another little planting of sunflowers. I don't really like the spottiness of the germination and not knowing, you know, roundabouts how much of what I seeded actually germinated. So I think that until I get something like an earthway seeder or something along those lines, I'm gonna go back to direct seeding the sunflowers. It's just more uniform and a little bit more controlled. So my next planting of sunflowers is going to be transplanted out. Yeah, it's just a little too haphazard for me. So Sullivan wanted his garden in the video, so he's growing lots of peas and carrots right now, and these peas will be finishing up soon. We came through and we planted some tomatoes in his bed the other day. So Sully's got tomatoes, and we'll probably be pulling some carrots soon, right? All right, guys, that's pretty much it for the garden. We've got a few things blooming, some phlox, some snapdragons. But again, I don't want this video to be 45 minutes long. We've had a couple of you ask about updates on how our events are going, and happily they're going much better than the first event went. The farmers market has been great. We're at the Ridgeville Farmers Market on Sundays from 10 to 2. Our events at the local brewery have been going much better. We made some modifications. We set up some things outside for now. The first time we went, we didn't sell anything at all. The second time we went, we sold everything we took, and things have been going well, just in general as far as sales and our business goes. So if you are out there trying something new and it didn't go as planned the first time, just, you know, stick with it and take all of that as an opportunity to learn and adjust and make modifications. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad idea just because it didn't go well the first time. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. We will see you guys soon. Bye.